Hey, were we meant to be filming that clone video tutorial today? Yeah, look, about that. Alrighty guys, I've done my hair. I'm ready to shoot the clone video. Well, I guess we're doing it then. So, let's get into it. Hey guys, hope you guys enjoyed that little intro segment that you just saw. Today we're actually going to show you how we put that together and how you guys can put together your own clone videos. Now the first thing you're going to need to put this whole video together is a camera. It doesn't matter if it's a DSLR or just a phone camera, you just need something that shoots video that you can then bring into an editing software later on and apply some masking techniques to basically create the effect that you've got like 3 or 4 of you in a room at the one time. The other really important thing you're going to need is somewhere to keep your camera completely still. You essentially just want to set the camera up, press record, and then shoot the scene from multiple different areas without actually operating the camera again. That way it'll make it really easy to blend them in post, as you won't have things unnecessarily moving. Also, like, consistent lighting is pretty important too. It gets a lot harder when you're trying to blend lighting from different scenes. If the light is the same the whole way through, it just makes it a lot easier when masking. So this is to show you guys a little bit of the setup of the scene. We've got the tripod on the table so that the camera can stay completely still. We've got one main key light with a softbox that lights me sitting in the chair. And then over in the background here, we've got 2 little practical lights. So we've got one little lamp which kind of illuminates me down on the ground. And then we're using the sewing machine's light here to just kind of fill this space, and just it creates a little bit more depth in the image when you kind of have like multiple layers of lighting. Otherwise, you just kind of fall off into the background and it just looks very plain and bland. So this is kind of like our main scene for the intro that you just saw. And what we did here is we got up and filmed it in 3 different segments. We also did a couple of different close-ups that we shot, which just kind of broke it up and gave it a bit more of like a cinematic kind of feel. So we shot the close-up of the clone lying on the floor first, and then we shot the main sequence here, and then we did the 3rd final one afterwards. So now that we've shot all of those segments, we're going to take them into the editing software, splice it together, and make it look like it was 3 of me in the room. Let's get into it. So once you've got all your clips into Premiere Pro or whatever software you are using, we can go ahead and start cutting out those backgrounds and layering the characters. Now the most important thing to note is that always have the clip that you're cutting the background out of on top. You really want the foremost character in the scene, its layer, to be above all the rest. That'll give you the most natural depth, and it'll look the most real to the eye. Now it's actually really simple to cut out backgrounds in Premiere Pro using the mask tool. So if you go up into the editing tab over here, and then you click on the clip that you want to cut the background out of, you can go scroll across to the opacity section, click on this pen tool, and then literally just draw a line around what you want to only be seen from that clip. So if I go ahead and draw that line there, already you can see if I pulled across there that you can see the character behind. And if I pull it across more, it reveals more of that background back. So if you've got 2 characters on either side of the screen, you can just literally draw a box around one of them using that mask tool, and bam, you've cloned yourself. So it's actually a very simple technique. It does get a little bit more complicated when you have characters that are moving and overlapping, like I've done to myself in this intro. So in that situation, I've had to create a pretty complex pathway around myself. Now this is a little bit more complicated because what I have to do is go through every frame of my video and move the mask with my shoulder so that it doesn't look weird. Luckily you can do that in Premiere using this little button here and the keyframe tool. So you just create a keyframe, move across to the next frame in the scene, and then just drag the mask a little bit and it'll update it, and you just got to go through and do that for the whole process. And that's literally it. That is how you duplicate yourself in Premiere Pro. Really, the hardest part about it all is actually just getting the timing right when you film. You've got to interact with yourself with no one there. So I find it's best to kind of write down a little script and then just do each take like 3 or 4 times, because you never know what one's going to be the best one for timing. And that way, when you pull your clips into Premiere Pro or your editing software later on, you can just kind of see which ones work together. And there's always a bit of leeway. You can kind of like move the clips a little bit, you know. In this one, I have made a couple of extra cuts to make it a little bit easier for myself, some close-ups, some different shots. So I could fiddle with the timing a bit more, so it wasn't as important. If you're doing it as a one take, you're definitely gonna have to nail the timing. So just, yeah, make sure you do it like 4 or 5 times, and then just pick the ones that line up the best. And that's it. I hope you guys have enjoyed this tutorial for how to clone yourself for video. And if any of you creative people out there, go ahead and make some really cool stuff using this technique. We would love to see it. So definitely hashtag us in at Shoelace Clones on the posts and send it through to us so we can see what you guys have been creating. And we'll see you in the next one. Probably very soon, because, you know, kind of stuck in the house.